up, people? It's your boy Chig from Guna Eagle Eye, coming to you again with a brand new video. That's right, this is Eagle Eye, the transfer rumor show, where I talk to you about news and views surrounding the Arsenal. Big up to everyone that is watching. Apologies for me being 15 minutes late. Quite frankly, your boy fell asleep. It's as simple as that. No excuses. My man, I went on a little walk, had a little team quiz with my team. Decided to just stretch my legs, went for a walk, chilled, sat on the bed, waiting for the show to start, playing a little pool on my phone. And that was the last thing I remember. I passed out. Oh, shit. So sorry about that. Apologies. I hope you guys are well. Please do slap a like on the video, hit the subscribe button. And I will appreciate it if you can do that. All right, this won't be a long show, not really much happened. First and foremost, let me address something. Yesterday, I was supposed to do a FIFA stream. I had loads of little technical problems yesterday with the FIFA stream. I've sorted it. The problem is I'm already doing a member stream today anyway. So I'm not sure when I'm going to do FIFA. It will either be sometime on Saturday. It won't even be Saturday. It will be sometime on Sunday, and it'll be a solid 2 to 3 hours. Like, it'll be a big session just to make up for the lost time. Or yeah, it's going to be sometime either that, or I'll fit it in sometime tomorrow. Either way, it'll be a decent session just to make up for it. All right, so apologies for that. Literally, I was just sorting out this technical issue. It then started getting late. It was like 11, half 11, and I just thought, oh, for fuck's sake, I'm just gonna go to sleep. So I literally just went to sleep yesterday. So apologies. But the member stream is still happening tonight. That's going to take place at 10:30. I promise, no Nigerian time. It will be 10:30 on the dot for the members. So all members that are eligible, we're just going to kick it. I might have some of you on with me just to kick it. Really just to have a chit chat. I got told by StreamYard I can have up to 10 people now on my stream. Don't know if I'm going to do that, but we'll see how it goes. I'm literally going to freestyle it. I don't really have a lot of plans as to what I'm going to do today, but I promise that will go ahead on time at 10:30. Literally straight after this show, I'm literally going to go to the kitchen, cook dinner, come set up, and I'm ready for the stream. So at 10:30, we're gonna do that. We're literally just gonna kick it and have some fun. So if you are a member, please look out for that. If you're not a member, what are you waiting for? Join up. I had a bunch of people join up yesterday. I even had one person join up today. I completely forgotten their name, but I know if I see them in the chat, I will shout them out. But big up to that person for joining. I might find their name a bit later and just shout them out properly, because I don't like missing them out and not giving them their proper due. I had their name in mind before pre-nap, and then post-nap I've completely forgotten their name. So 10:30, it won't be Nigerian time, it won't be black man time, it won't be Lee time. It will be prompt white people time. And I say that with respect. I'm not saying that as an insult. It is a positive that white people are on time. so yes, it will be white people time. 10:30 white people time, UK time specifically, people. I don't want someone to try and get me on some kind of technicality. It will be 10:30 UK time at night, PM. Again, just in case someone tries it. So 10:30, I'll be ready to go, and we'll go live. And yeah, we'll just kick it and just have a chit chat. Have a chit chat. You know how we do. Just have a chit chat. All right. Let's talk about some transfer news. and let's talk about Mr. Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey, this is probably, I mean, every year we always have one of these. We always have someone that we're linked to for ages and ages and ages. And generally, we don't get that person. Thomas Partey is the latest in that cycle, but we're all hoping that something will change. The tide will change. That could this be the one where we actually get them? You know, I think in years gone by, we've been linked with Benzema for months and months and months, and nothing happens. We've been linked with Arturo Vidal for months and months and months, and nothing happens. It happens every year with somebody. Last year was Upamecano, months and months and months, and nothing happened. This year it seems to be Thomas Partey, and I'm hoping that this is the one that we just break the duck with. You know, Thomas Partey is a guy. Sorry, Rich. Let me take Rich's message off there, blocking me. You know, he's been someone that we've been linked with probably for the last year and a half. Emre was said to have wanted him 2 years ago and a year ago. We never got him. And he's a player who is, you know, Ghanaian, 27 years old, big physical beast, very, very strong midfielder, but defensively very, very good. Breaks up play, picks a good pass. And someone who, you know, people are noticing, for example, Granit Xhaka's really good form. And people really do feel actually maybe Partey could be the guy to complement that further and get the very best out of Granit Xhaka. And that's very much a possibility. I think, you know, for me, I'm not a huge fan of Granit Xhaka. You guys know this. I'm thankful for the fact that he's had some sort of consistent form recently. And it's obviously the likelihood is that he'll stay. He'll stay next year. So we may as well get the best out of him. So I feel like this is an opportunity for us to be able to really kind of push forward with you know, progressing our team and strengthening our team. You know, and this is a player who 2 years ago supposedly wanted to come to Arsenal, and then kind of changed his mind. Last year he was very, very close to coming to Arsenal, and Arsenal couldn't afford him. That was the truth of the matter. Fast forward to this year, maybe we're still in that position because Arsenal, I think notoriously, I think the one thing that all journalists seem to agree on today is that they are now locked in heavy, heavy talks with Atletico Madrid. Obviously, we saw Ornstein's tweet. Like for those who worship Ornstein, most people take his word for it. You know, we're locked in heavy negotiations now with that. They're actively pursuing Thomas Partey. There's no doubt about it. But Arsenal being Arsenal, things are never simple. You know, when you have a player of the caliber of Thomas Partey, you think to yourself, okay, well, Arsenal will look at that and think to themselves, right, well, this is clearly a player worth a lot more than 43 or 44 million pounds. Let's just get it done and get it over the line. Arsenal always got to see some sort of bargain. And supposedly Arsenal are not prepared to pay the release clause, despite the fact that they are desperate for the player. They are banking on the fact that Thomas Partey wants to move to Arsenal and therefore are trying to penny pinch, cut to the chase, get some value out of the player. So Arsenal apparently haven't satisfied Atletico Madrid's obviously asking price. Because obviously, from Atletico Madrid's point of view, if you bid what the release clause is, you don't even need to talk to Atletico Madrid, really, right? So they're like, we want what is the release clause, and Arsenal are kind of like, So now they're trying to think of creative ways to get Atletico Madrid to accept. Obviously, we know that Atletico Madrid are interested in at least two players of ours. One of them is pretty well known, the fact that they really want Lacazette. Arsenal are very open to selling Lacazette this summer. I think that's pretty much an open secret at this case. Not exactly been hitting the high of highs recently. And ironically enough, Atletico Madrid was where Alexandre Lacazette was going to join in the first place. So obviously it's a deal where I think a lot of people think, okay, well, that makes sense. Lacazette, 29 years old, also has 2 years left on his contract, like Partey, probably valued around about that kind of price for Lacazette. Make that deal happen. So that seems like the obvious one. The other potentially obvious one is Guendouzi, and actually the one that might suit Atletico Madrid more, in the sense that, you know, Guendouzi is a like-for-like replacement. Ironically, or allegedly, I should say, ironically, allegedly. Because what you could argue, this is if Arsenal really polished it off right, what they could basically just say is, look, you need a midfielder anyway. You need a central midfielder anyway. Why not a Guendouzi, someone who I think technically will probably be able to add to your team? He's young, super young, could only improve. Would probably suit La Liga better, to be fair. Although I don't fucking think he's valued at 40 million, you could certainly spin the yarn and say, listen, there's a deal to be had there. Why don't you have Guendouzi? I'm hearing from Ben, it is 2-0 to Sheffield United. I don't actually know who I want winning that game. As much as I like Spurs losing like every other guy, technically, if it's a draw, Spurs jump us. If Spurs win, they obviously jump us. And if Sheffield United win, they jump us. so I don't know who, but I suppose this is the best result out of the lot. So, Spuds. Anyway, so yeah, I think from that perspective, the kind of to in and throw in, Arsenal have always got to do this. You tell Arsenal a player's worth £1, they'll try and get them for 50p. This is just what we do. And there'll be some people sat there thinking, yeah, but that's how negotiations work. Because I dared say, suggested such a thing last year, and somebody tried to explain to me how business works, the HR guy. Okay. I understand that. But I think there are also certain times where you say to yourself, especially in these circumstances, that yes, I get it, there's less money flying about. But you also have less time as well. We're not going to have a lot of time between the end of the season and the start of next season. Let's just get this deal over the line and stop messing around. So that's kind of my kind of belief. But what do you guys think? Let me know. Do you think that Arsenal will get Partey over the line? I'm hoping. I'm still keeping belief. But I don't know, you just hear about Arsenal kind of negotiating. You do worry. You do wonder and worry with Arsenal. What do you guys think? Let me know. Leave it in the comments below. Let's talk about Aubameyang. Obviously, Aubameyang was scorer of 2 goals last night, played very well. Reminder of what he can do. And there's this, renewed belief that actually Aubameyang may be able to be persuaded to stay, because up until now, I think there was just this quiet resignation that he was probably off. But then you saw that he seemed unusually happy that a player had signed a new contract, opting to stay with Arsenal. Now, my kind of pessimistic belief was, well, that takes the heat off him, because obviously it would have looked bad if Saka left and then he also left. But now that Saka's staying, he can, I suppose, go without feeling so bad about it. That was kind of the way I looked at it. But the way other people are looking at it is, oh, well, he seems really keen that Saka stays. Maybe there's a possibility that he might stay. He obviously then went on to score a couple of goals. He once again reiterated the fact that he was very happy that Saka decided to stay, and that his response to his own situation was, we'll see. We'll see. I think for me personally, it suits the club, financially at least, for Aubameyang to leave. So I do wonder how much we'll do to convince him to stay. I feel like what the club will do is they'll put together kind of a measly, pathetic final, take it or leave it, this is what it is offer. That's what I think will happen. When it will happen is anyone's guess, but I think they'll put together some kind of offer, probably in the region, if I had to guess, I don't even think it'll be 250. I think it'll be something like 230, 220, 230 a week. And it'll be like a take it or leave it 3-year deal, maybe, And then from Aubameyang's point of view, he's got to work out as a 31-year-old if he wants to take that. I'm sure he'll be keen on a 4-year deal. I'm sure he'll want to make sure his situation is well looked after. Unfortunately for us, this Mesut Ozil situation has really made it difficult because forget the fact that Mesut Ozil earns what he earns, right? Actually, I think it's the length of the deal that's the problem. Because, and this is where I don't think anyone else has picked up on this, I feel like the club would learn from that situation and say, hold on, we don't want to get locked down in case, say Aubameyang's form falls off the cliff, and then we've got him on a high contract for like 3-4 years. Maybe if we offer him 2 years or a 2-year extension, then we've just covered ourselves just in case it doesn't go right. And in some ways, I actually don't blame them. I feel like that's something that nobody's really noticed or looked out for. Like, I feel like they will try and learn from that Mesut Ozil situation and try and safeguard themselves just in case something doesn't go right. I don't know. Heaven forbid Aubameyang gets a year injury and he's out for a year. You're older, you're more susceptible to these things. Let's just be real here. Or, his form just falls off a cliff. He does an Alexis Sanchez. And again, you're just tied to this long-ass contract with no way of breaking it because much in a similar way to Alexis Sanchez right now, nobody could afford you. Just like you're in the Mesut Ozil situation now. No one can afford you. So this is the problem. Like in any other circumstance, you think Mesut Ozil will just leave the club this summer. But the fact that nobody can afford him, we know he's going to stay the extra year. So I think these are all factors that are playing into Arsenal's decision, particularly if they don't offer him a new contract. So we'll see what happens. Either way, I think we should be planning heavily and extensively. We've obviously been linked with a number of strikers. Ousmane Edouard is one, probably most fans' favourite to take over. Most recently, the Wolfsburg striker, whose name I always keep forgetting, there's another. Looks like a goal scorer, looks like someone that potentially could work with. And then obviously the new name, which is Depay, Memphis Depay. Someone who I must admit I am completely and utterly split on. I've always thought he's a decent player. Didn't necessarily get to show it at United, but I respect the fact that he just decided, all right, cool, I'm going to make the best out of this, Leon situation. Knuckled down, worked hard, rebuilt his reputation in some sort of ways. Yes, I get it that people still see him as, like I saw somebody say to me on Twitter, yeah, he's a internet rapper. And in my eyes, I'm like, I couldn't care less. I couldn't care less if he's an internet rapper. If he's doing the job, on the pitch, my man could sing in a tutu. I would not care less. I would not care less. Let him think he's gangster. As long as he's not messing around with that type of shit, I couldn't care less if he thinks he's gangster or not. So yeah, I don't know what you guys think about Depay. I'm in two minds. I feel like here's the thing: price matters because at first my reaction was, I don't know if I would do that. Then somebody goes to me, yeah, but Chid, do you know that he's going to go for 18 million? I'm like, oh, 18 million. Oh, okay, well, that's very different. So 18 million because obviously Lyon are in financial desperation at the moment. The fact that they've missed out on Europe altogether. In addition to the fact that Depay is in the last year of his deal. So if you look at that situation, you think to yourself, maybe, maybe. I don't know. I must admit, I'm personally still mixed on it. I still think, in a weird way, despite the fact that Depay has actually been in the Premier League, I still think an Usain Edouard is a better choice. But I notice he's not really been talked about a lot. So I do wonder if we're focused on him. But, if this was Arsenal back in the day, it'd be more likely we're going for him because no one's focused on him. But Arsenal these days, you kind of have an indication based on rumours in the direction that they're gonna go. Yes, admittedly, no one saw Pepe coming, but generally speaking, you have an idea of the direction that they'll go. I do wonder. We'll see what happens. What do you guys think? Let me know. Leave it in the comments below. I suppose I should talk about this because you guys would expect me to talk about this. By the way, just sorry, news is updated since I last looked at this. By the way, just so you know, according to Spanish press, AS, apparently we are still best placed to make this signing. The personal terms, although it's not agreed, is thought to be an impressive offer, whatever that means. So it is very likely that if Partey leaves Atletico Madrid, it will be for Arsenal, just so people know. Okay. What was I going to say now? I think Arteta did his press conference because there's a lot of Arteta stuff. All right, I suppose let's finally talk about this. Arsenal are interested in signing a player who they once rejected for Yaya Sanogo, would you believe? Little fun fact. Yes, we had the opportunity to sign him, and that's a lot of the reason why this player vowed he would never, ever, ever, ever sign for Arsenal while Wenger is in charge. Little fun fact, yes, my man was Wenger out straight. But yes, Arsenal are interested in signing French striker Antonio Griezmann. Now, it's interesting because yesterday I saw, tell a lie, yesterday morning I saw this story. And then I got a pop-up on my phone that said that, it basically was Griezmann rubbishing the stories, saying that he's not going anywhere and that he's comfortable where he is. He's obviously struggled at Barcelona. Now, we'll say this. Before Mesut Ozil moved in 2013, he said something similar, kind of rubbished the stories, distanced the stories, and then literally it was like 3 days later, my mum was going to the Emirates. It was like, hey? So I suppose things do happen quickly in football. But, after it looks as though Arsenal are very much keen on Griezmann. He's not settled in as well as people expected in Barcelona. I must admit, I always thought the Barcelona move was quite a weird one for Griezmann. I always felt like it was one quite late for Griezmann. This story is obviously coming up off the back of the fact that if we lose Aubameyang, technically you lose goals, you replace them with goals, right? Who better to replace him with goals than someone proven, not necessarily in the Premier League, but certainly on the world stage. I will say this: he's 29 years old now, so you do wonder how much are we really going to get out of Griezmann at this stage of his career? Now, if you're one of those people hoping that Lacazette will leave, I would suggest that you'll be less likely to leave if Griezmann comes in, because Griezmann and him are supposed to be best friends. So it will be an interesting one. He's obviously valued at £86.4 million. I feel like this money would literally be better spent anywhere else. But this is Arsenal. This is exactly the sort of signing that they would do. Exactly for this sort of money. You know why? Because Arsenal just do that. Instead of spending money in the places they need to spend, they'll spend it on someone like Griezmann, thinking that that's what we want. So I'd say don't rubbish the story just yet. I think it is what it is. I think it's very possible that Arsenal do something like this. But what do you guys think? Let me know. Leave it in the comments below. All right, guys. I told you it was going to be a very quick show, and it is. Tomorrow it'll be a bit longer of a show. So we'll have a chit chat. Obviously, I'll be back at 10:30 to do the member stream. So make sure you members are about. We're going to kick it 10:30 today. You'll be able to see me because we're just going to literally kick it, have a little chit chat and kick it. All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday evening, and till tomorrow. I'll be doing my preview tomorrow. Peace.